The Mountain West Conference Tournament rolls on from fabulous Las Vegas after a dramatic day for Colorado State.
7 seconds to go. Drives left in the paint. Floater up and good! Rams back in front.
And the Rams are right back at it this afternoon against Brian Dutcher and top-seeded San Diego State. You are watching Bracket Week presented by Kubota. On a beautiful day in Las Vegas, it's quarterfinal action in the Mountain West Conference Tournament. First up, Colorado State takes on top-seeded San Diego State. It's the first of 4 games you'll see today on CBS Sports Network. And hi, everyone. Alongside former Villanova head coach Steve Lapis, I'm Andrew Catalan. A.J. Ross will join us coming up. We've been covering this tournament together for over a decade, and every time we get here, you can feel the energy of March in Las Vegas.
Yeah, I mean, Las Vegas is a great place for the Mountain West to run their tournament, and this has been a banner year for the Mountain West. They have 4 teams with a great chance to get in the NCAA tournament. The Mountain West has been a top 5 league this year. It's been a really good one, and I expect a great tournament.
And every year we come here, we talk about San Diego State's defense. It's always the same with the Aztecs.
Yeah, I mean, this is their culture. They've been playing this kind of defense for a long time. This year's no different. They score 15 points a game off of turnovers. They do a great job of trapping. They average 7.5 steals a game, and they get a lot of offense in transition out of their tremendous defense. Always a big part of what the Aztecs do.
And that defense is anchored in the middle by now the 2-time Mountain West Defensive Player of the Year in Nathan Mensah. Meanwhile, for Colorado State, we showed you the Isaiah Stevens game winner yesterday. He's the focus of our Reese's player profile.
Boy, he's one of the best point guards in the country when it comes to assists. He has a 3-to-1 assist-to-turnover ratio, top 10 in the nation. He can make threes, he gets to the free throw line, and as you saw in that clip, he makes big shots.
We'll hear from A.J. Ross coming up, plus starting lineups. Opening tip. First of 4 today from Vegas on CBS Sports Network. It's away from tip-off between Colorado State and San Diego State. And before we get going, we say hello to the 3rd member of our team, A.J. Ross.
Andrew, when the lights are brightest and the pressure is on Colorado State, senior guard Isaiah Stevens rises to the occasion. It was his game-winning floater against Fresno State that secured the Rams' ticket here to the quarterfinals. And Brian Dutcher minced no words when he said his San Diego State team has to disrupt Stevens with full-court pressure and denying him the ball. Not to mention Lamont Butler and Nathan Mensah recently being named Defensive Players of the Year. Dutcher says this Aztec team is built on defense, and they are ready for the challenge, guys.
A.J. Stevens is capable of taking the game over, but he'll have to do it against the defense that is so highly touted. As we take a look at today's starting lineups, brought to you by Kubota. And for San Diego State, you see the starting 5, but this team will go 9 deep. And Steve, this is one of the deepest teams Brian Dutcher has had in his time at San Diego State.
Yeah, I mean, the most minutes that anybody averages is 27 minutes a game. So that tells you right there where they're coming from. And they can keep, with that depth, they can keep the heat on you defensively, which is what Brian Dutcher does.
And that's something Nico Medved is certainly well aware of. He told us before the game that they know they're going to come after Stevens, and no live ball turnovers is a big key for Colorado State today. A spot in the Mountain West semifinals is on the line. First of 4 games today from the Mountain West Conference Tournament on CBS Sports Network. Our officials for the opener, Tommy Nunez Jr., Nate Harris, and Deron White. 3rd meeting this year between these 2 teams. San Diego State swept the first two, and we're underway with Colorado State controlling the opening tip in an arena that has a lot of San Diego State fans here.
Yeah, and we're going to see that typical San Diego State defense we talked about in the open. They're going to keep the pressure on Colorado State, who does not have the depth that they have.
They go inside to Patrick Cartier. Kicks it out to Isaiah Rivera. Shot clock down to 6. And inside, it's Cartier for 2.
I think it's really important to try and establish a third guy. We know Stevens and Tonje are going to be there scoring-wise, but they're going to need a third guy in this game if they're going to beat San Diego State. And Cartier is the logical choice.
Lamont Butler from the wing, and that's well short. Isaiah Stevens, the game winner yesterday. He finished with 19 points in the victory over Fresno State. It was not easy for the Rams. They were up 12 with 8 minutes to go and then found themselves down by 3 late as Tonje on the drive is fouled.
And you know, one thing that we see, there are 2 first-team All-League defensive guys. They could have got called for a push-off there on this San Diego State team. Lamont Butler is one of them, the guard, and he's guarding Isaiah Stevens. So it's going to be a tough matchup for Stevens because he's a great defender.
Lamont Butler won Defensive Player of the Year as chosen by the media, and it was Nathan Mensah winning the Coaches Award. So they've got 2 Defensive Players of the Year on San Diego State as Tonje knocks in the first free throw. The San Diego State foul goes against Nathan Mensah. What a season for Tonje in a career that has continued to evolve. He's gotten better each and every season to the point now where he's averaging 14.5 points per game.
And he was a great 6th man for them for a couple of years, but now obviously one of the guys they're relying on.
Aztecs have won 7 of their last 8 games entering Vegas. Butler from the outside. And the rebound is grabbed by Jalen Lake.
And Nico Medved has to be happy with those first couple of misses because that's one of the things that he said. If we're going to test them anywhere, it's going to be at 3. If they make them, we're going to go home.
Tonje. And it's 6-0 Rams. San Diego State arrived in Vegas yesterday afternoon. Short trip from San Diego. And a foul is called against Isaiah Rivera.
Rivera being a little bit too aggressive on Matt Bradley, but that's one of the things you have to do with Bradley. You have to stay close to him because he has one of the best step-back jumpers in the country. You've got to be really close so you can get back to that step-back.
Trammell had it poked away. Great defense by Lake. He scoops it up in the front court and sends it back to Tonje. He drives right in, and with the right hand, it's 8-0 Colorado State.
And you know, one of the things about Colorado State, they have struggled defensively this season, but I thought their defense yesterday was good, and so far today, the half-court defense is very good.
As Keyshawn Johnson puts the Aztecs on the board. Tonje all the way again. Not this time, and the rebound is grabbed by Johnson.
Well, they set the double team at Isaiah Stevens, so he had to get rid of the ball. That's one of the things that San Diego State's going to look to do to this game, is get the ball out of Isaiah Stevens' hands.
Mensah's turnaround is off the mark. Offensive rebound, Johnson. Put back, not there. Stevens into the corner it goes. Late for 3. And a whistle inside, and a foul is called against Tonje. Aztecs have started this game cold from the floor. They're 1 of 5 to open up against Colorado State.
But now they bring in guys that can fill it up. When you talk about Micah Parrish, good three-point shooter. Adam Seiko's 50% from the three-point line this season, which is amazing. So these guys, they're not subs. They're considered, he considers like he has 9 starters.
Seiko shot 40% from deep last year, up to 50% this season as Ledee connects.
Yeah, the transfer from TCU goes right at James Morris that time.
Ledee had a team-high 21 in the regular season finale Saturday against Wyoming.
He's gotten better and better as the season has gone on.
Stevens quiet so far, trying to get on the stat sheet here, and the 3 won't go. Butler in transition. Here's Seiko. Can't knock this one out, but Ledee with the offensive board. Parrish will take the 3. It's good.
Great shot fake there for Parrish.
7-0 run ended by Tonje.
And normally this is a Colorado State team that plays a slowish tempo. They're looking to attack in transition because you don't want to play against the San Diego State defense setting up the entire game. They're too tough in the half court.
That's what Nico Medved told us pregame. If we break the pressure, go right to the basket. Ledee, nice look, and Johnson the flush.
Well, they've had trouble with Keshad Johnson so far in this game and his athleticism down low.
Lake brings the ball across, defended tightly by Parrish. Stevens with 8 on the shot clock. Bounces it to Morris. And he's good off the glass.
There's no better guy maybe in the nation to have when the shot clock's running down than Isaiah Stevens.
5th in the country in assists per game, and a beauty there to James Morris. Nearly 6 minutes in, still waiting for the under-16 media timeout. Shot clock at 4. Butler gonna have to put one up. He does. And the rebound to Morris.
I'll tell you, I've been impressed so far with the Colorado State half-court defense. And they'll mix it up. They may throw some zone in, but right now their man-to-man defense is doing a good job not allowing dribble penetration by the San Diego State guards.
They get it to Stevens with 9 to shoot. Stevens, oh, what a move, and the step back won't go, and tip to Johnson. Stevens 0 for 2 to begin this game, but he got a hand on that one. Parrish gets it back from Seiko. A great look to Ledee.
I tell you, it's nice to have a bench like this that San Diego State has.
Guys out there got to be breathing pretty heavy.
Yeah.
Still waiting for that media timeout. Tonje, deep 3. Wow. It's good. Tonje from downtown.
Boy, this guy is really tough.
And Colorado State calls timeout. Good start for the Rams. Tonje already with 11 points in the first half, and Colorado State leads by 4. Top-seeded San Diego State down by 4 early. And you look across the country, this year, of course, just seems so wide open, but a number of 1 seeds eliminated from conference tournaments, some as early as the quarterfinals. As San Diego State, the 1 seed here in Vegas. All right, Steve, what have you seen so far?
Well, Nico Medved talked about this. They're going to try and double Isaiah Stevens. Right here, you see 2 guys coming at him. Now, look what happened. Stop it. We have 1, 2, 3, 4 green shirts against 3 white shirts. And that's what Nico Medved talked about. If they're going to double Isaiah Stevens, we have to pass out of that double team and attack because we're going to have the advantage. That was a perfect example of what he's looking to do if they force the ball out of Stevens' hands.
Playing with confidence, as Colorado State has won 3 of its last 4 games, and Medved told us before the game, a lot of injuries earlier in the year, but we stayed the course, and now we're playing our best basketball of the season.
Yeah, and I think they expected David Roddy, who was the player of the year in the conference last year, to be back this year. Instead, he's having a pretty good career with the Memphis Grizzlies.
Not bad start at all, as there's a foul called with 6 on the shot clock. It's going to go on Isaiah Stevens.
I mean, that's one thing about Butler. He is such a physical guard.
And Butler at the free throw line. During Mountain West Conference games, he shot 82%. San Diego State, the regular season Mountain West champion for the 3rd time in the last 4 years. Trying to sweep the regular season title and tournament title for the 2nd time in 3 years. They also did it in 2021.
But you think about Brian Dutcher, 5 years, 5 championship games. That's pretty good.
Yeah, and this team overall, going back to the Steve Fisher days, have won 15 straight Mountain West quarterfinal games. This round, they have won the last 15 years.
They do long-term stays at the hotels here when they
yes,
come.
They do. Here's Stevens. Feeds it inside to Cartier. His turnaround will go. Offensive rebound for Joe Palmer, and a foul is called. Aguaca Rope is called for the foul, and we have a timeout on the floor.
Yeah, right now we got a back-and-forth game. 15-13. Colorado State leads the Aztecs.
Welcome back to Vegas here with Coach Brian Dutcher. Colorado State jumped out to an early 8-0 lead, but you kept your cool, let your guys figure it out. What can you say about how they responded, especially with looks in the paint?
Well, if you like offense, this has been a great game so far. But we pride ourselves on defense, so we got to start tying together a few stops and get ourselves back in the game.
Thank you, Coach.
Thank you.
AJ, thanks. Both teams shooting better than 45% from the field to open up this one, and Colorado State has a 2-point lead.
And, you know, Brian Dutcher is definitely not happy with the way his team has responded defensively so far. Colorado State has no turnovers. They're 6 for 10 from the field and basically getting to the basket. And they got to do something with John Tonche right now.
Tonche leading the way with 11 points. He had 18 in the loss at Viejas, which came last month.
I think it's amazing that Colorado State has 2 guys in the game. One was a Division II All-American. The other guy was a Division III who's shooting the free throws. Division III All-American. That's amazing to play at this level. Those guys obviously were not recruited to play here, but became players at this level in the Mountain West.
Joe Palmer at the line, the transfer from Augsburg in Minnesota, a Division III school. Cartier coming from D2 Hillsdale College in Michigan.
Both guys were big scorers at those levels.
And Cartier over 2,000 points now in his collegiate career. Baroque, too strong, and they fight for the rebound out of bounds to San Diego State. Nico Medved told us we know we're undersized in this game. We have to scrap our way down low as much as we can.
Yeah, they're playing against the 2nd best rebounding team in the league, and they're at the bottom of the rebounding in the league. So that's something they are very concerned about with San Diego State, who hits the offensive glass very hard.
Seiko gets free and knocks it down. In his 6th year, as Brian Dutcher told us, Seiko's been here as long as Dutcher has.
And Colorado State needs to start getting Isaiah Stevens off.
Yet to score, he's 0 of 2 from the floor.
Yeah, I mean, you look at Adam Seiko denying him the ball.
Tavy Jackson had it poked away, but it will stay with the Rams. Take a look at that bucket by Seiko. And did he step out of bounds?
Yeah, he definitely did. Oh, my goodness.
The Aztecs get away with one there as Mensa is back on the floor. 8 on the shot clock for the Rams. Stevens to Cartier.
See, that time, Michael Parrish gambled for the steal, and that's what happens when you gamble on a steal sometimes. You give up a layup.
Seiko for 3. Offensive rebound, Orope. Trammell nowhere to go, now locates Parrish. 4 on the shot clock. Orope out to Seiko. He's going to have to put one up. Seiko does and hits. With the shot clock expiring, a big bucket from Adam Seiko.
Great way of staying under control and not panicking when the shot clock was winding down. One thing, Andrew, about Colorado State, they're top 6 team in the country in scoring in half-court offense. They can play offense in the half-court.
Cartier had it knocked away. He was looking for a call and doesn't get it. Here come the Aztecs the other way. Mensa traveling. Well, make sure to tune in to the 2023 Reese's College All-Star Game. It's presented by Walmart, and it's on March 31st, live at 4:30 Eastern, right here on CBS Sports Network. And you'll be there, Lau.
I will be there.
Colorado State still yet to turn the ball over. Brian Dutcher, including his time as an assistant in his 24th year with San Diego State.
He's seen a whole lot of wins there with Steve Fisher and now on his own.
And a foul is called. That's the second foul on Nathan Mensa. So a rope comes out, and so does Mensa. Johnson and Ledee back on the floor for San Diego State.
Yeah, the only guy that I feel like San Diego State can't lose is Matt Bradley, and he hasn't done anything yet.
Stevens is still scoreless. So both teams leading scorers yet to score as the Aztecs cough it up. Heb the other way, and it's rejected. Ledee getting there, but Cartier cleans it up.
Cartier does a great job of running the floor, not waiting. Heb made a great defensive play there, too.
Trammell thought about a deep 3. Back over to Butler. He launches. And Stevens with the rebound. Stevens 0 for 3 so far in the first half.
And as you can see, San Diego State, they switched 1 through 5. So we got Ledee, their 5-man, on Isaiah Stevens right now.
5 to shoot. Palmer will take a 3. It's way off. Let's go back to the block.
Yeah, Heb taking it to the basket. Then Ledee gets all of that and then some. But Cartier did a great job of following that up.
3 blocks for the Aztecs. They average 3.5 per game. Ledee gets separation, missed it, follows his shot and gets it back, but could not hold on. Out of bounds to Colorado State.
Great job there by Cartier, staying in front.
Rams with the first half lead. You're watching Bracket Week presented by Kubota. Colorado State leads by 3, and a moment ago, head coach Nico Medved with our AJ Ross.
Coach, you knew coming into this one that the Aztecs defense was going to key in on Isaiah Stevens. How well would you say other guys like Tonje and Cartier are stepping up at this point?
I really like what we're doing. We're just playing motion and we're attacking. I think we're sharing the ball well. I love our guys' mindset and energy coming out. It's going to be a long game, though. I mean, this is a deep, physical team, but I really like the mentality of our group so far.
Thank you, Coach. Good luck.
Thank you.
Already 4 assists on 8 made field goals, which is nothing new for this Colorado State group.
No, they're tremendous in the half court. They're 13th in the nation in assists. They average almost 17 a game, as you can see. So this is a team that passes the ball well. They run great stuff in the half court, score a lot off pick and roll and a lot off cuts. And they don't have a turnover yet in this game.
San Diego State yet to lead in this game. They have been within 1. But still looking to get over the hump with 7:40 to go in the first half. Tonje couldn't finish off the feed from Stevens.
Great back screen there for Tonje.
Trammell from the outside. It's short. Follows his shot. Sends it back out to Bradley for 3. Yes! His 49th 3 of the year. That's second on the team.
That's only the first shot that he's taken in 13 minutes.
And we're tied at 20.
Another good cut. Tough
Late
shot.
Step back is an air ball. 4-on-4 the other way. Johnson tried the no-look pass, but out of bounds. And it's turnover number 5 by the Aztecs. CBS Sports celebrates Women's History Month, recognizing the outstanding contributions women and girls have made on and off the field of play.
You watch how Colorado State moves the ball in the half court from side to great cut again. Well, they've missed a couple of layups here in the last minute or so.
And now scoreless in the last 2.5 minutes.
High-low.
Back-to-back turnovers for San Diego State.
You know, they thought Keisha Johnson could score there on Isaiah Stevens down low. And Stevens just made it very hard for him to catch the ball.
San Diego State's bench has scored 11 of the 20 points. And on the season, the Aztecs bench averages 27 points per game, which is 19th in the country.
You know, I think if you told Nico Medved we'd be tied up and Isaiah Stevens would not have scored, he'd be surprised.
Yeah, he'd sign up for that. Hard to get free against San Diego State. Shot clock at 5. Moore's inside. Yes.
And that was a basket that came because of the attention on Isaiah Stevens. They forgot Moore. He ends up with a layup.
And a whistle and a foul is called against Colorado State. Moores commits the foul, the junior from Auckland, New Zealand. Fifth season at Colorado State for Medved. Went to the NCAA tournament a year ago. That shot won't go, and the rebound is secured by James Moores.
They get the ball reversed very quickly every time down the floor.
Rivera. Bradley with 5 minutes left in the first half. And again, San Diego State turns it over. That's their 7th. They average 12 turnovers per game. Seiko right up on Stevens. Stevens trying to get some space and still yet to score.
And those are shots that he normally makes.
Plays a lot of minutes, 36 minutes per game, which is the most in the Mountain West. And again, Colorado State had to play yesterday against Fresno State.
39 last night.
As Butler's fouled on the drive. About the ball movement by the Rams.
Well, you take a look here. Everybody's on high alert for San Diego State when Isaiah Stevens has the ball. So you're going to see right here, going to stop it. Now, what happens? 2 guys come here, and nobody steps in to help out on Moores. And that's why Moores is able to finish here. That's the kind of alert San Diego State is on when it comes to Isaiah Stevens.
Substitutions for both teams. Butler with one more free throw. Junior from Moreno Valley, California. 1 out of 2 at the line. Full court pressure again by the Aztecs. Stevens has it.
Well, I mean, Colorado State still without a turnover. And they're running this stuff. Ball's moving. Makes the San Diego State defense move. There it is.
There it is, the first turnover. The announcer jinx. Finally, it's not me, it's you.
Well, I said it a few times before that happened, by the way.
Right, fair enough. It's still you.
Great
Cartier
defense.
takes it right back. Rivera joining him up ahead of the pack. And a foul against a rope. Timeout on the floor. 3:38 to go first half. Colorado State free throws when we come back. You are watching Bracket Week presented by Kubota. 3:38 to go in the first half. Colorado State leads by 1. Coming up, AT&T at the half. Brent Stover, Shelvin Mack, Matt Norlander, and Gary Parrish. Get you caught up in all the conference tournaments and latest news from around the country. Coming up on AT&T at the half. All right, live, local, late breaking. Jerry Palm updating his bracketology midway through the day. And, of course, a big one already with Rutgers defeating Michigan, and that took Michigan out of Jerry Palm's bracket lap.
And now we have Mississippi State. It looks like they're going to come up with a big win against Florida. It's not a win that would really help them, but it would have been a tremendous loss had they lost that game. So right now, Rutgers, they've really helped themselves today big time, and Michigan is probably not close anymore.
And you saw Utah State on that graphic. They'll play later tonight on CBS Sports Network.
Yeah, that's a game they have to win. Again, that's another one of those games. Not going to help them if they win, but it will devastate them if they lose.
Rivera with one more free throw. Since the game was tied at 20, San Diego State has committed 4 turnovers. And count the bucket and the foul. It's Butler.
That's what you call a strong move by a very strong player. Does the crossover, and look, he takes the hit, and it doesn't do anything to him.
We saw Utah State walking through before this game began, and they'll take on New Mexico. That should be a real good game later tonight on CBS Sports Network. 3-point play for Lamont Butler. And that's the first lead of the day for San Diego State.
And for a good part of this season, New Mexico was an NCAA tournament team.
Rams have missed 6 of their last 7 and now trail by 1. Taken away by Trammell. Hebb races back, and Trammell is fouled.
Yeah, I mean, you saw that coming. Somebody's got to let him know. He has to know that somebody could be around because he held the ball for so long. But somebody needs to tell him that Trammell is coming.
Trammell 9th in the Mountain West, averaging 1.4 steals per game.
I'll tell you what, that was close to a charge.
Instead, the foul goes against Baylor Hebb. His second, and he goes to the bench as Trammell misses the front end of the 1-and-1. Only 4 team fouls for the Aztecs here in the first.
They've got to get number 4 going.
Stevens is 0 for 4. Stevens, deep 3. Now 0 for 5, and the rebound is Seiko.
Yeah, that was not a good one. That was deep and contested.
Butler comes to get it, defended by Stevens. Butler muscles his way past him for 2.
He took another shot on that one that didn't bother him, not one bit.
Butler has 8 points in the first half.
Such a physical guard. As is Adam Seiko. That was close.
Rivera,
Tough
trying
shot.
to bank it in, and the rebound is grabbed by Parrish.
They haven't gotten a good shot in a long time. This is what San Diego State does to you.
Rams have gone without a field goal for the last 4 minutes and 10 seconds. Ledee is fouled inside, and the momentum swinging in San Diego State's favor.
The physicality and the athleticism of San Diego State is now starting to shine through. That depth also can wear you out a little bit, no doubt.
Here's Ledee at the line. Matt Bradley comes back in. Lamont Butler gets a nice hand as he heads out. Since the start of February, Ledee has been averaging 10 points per game. He has really turned it on down the stretch.
Tanje's been quiet for a long time also.
And he turns it over here. Chance of Let's Go Aztecs here at their second home, the Thomas and Mack Center. Bradley stepping. And the rebound to Cartier. Up ahead, Tanjay trying to beat him down, and he does!
Yeah, that's one of the things that will help Colorado State is to push it up a little bit.
13 points for Tanjay. Final minute of the first half. Trammell, shot. How about Tanjay with the big jam in transition?
That was a good finish.
Senior from Omaha, Nebraska. Played his high school ball at Omaha Central. And has gone on to have a great career here with Colorado State. A 1,000-point scorer, something he said he never would have thought would happen when he decided to join the Rams. Timeout, San Diego State. We're going to head to Texas for more conference tournament hoops tomorrow. It's the CUSA semifinals. They tip off at 12:30 Eastern. And don't forget, the championship game is Saturday night on CBS Sports Network. Good turnout, as always, by the Aztecs fans here in Las Vegas. They lead by 2.
And I guess they thought Colorado State got a piece of that jump shot by Trammell.
Shot clock at 2, and the D's turn around not good. A 4-second difference between the game clock and the shot clock.
They need to get the last one or run this thing as far down as they can. They got the kind of guy that can go one-on-one or use a pick and roll with Isaiah Stevens.
Stevens 0 for 5 in the first half. Stevens rejected by Parrish. And a shot clock violation.
Yeah, one thing about these Aztecs, they really know how to help. He just got swallowed up there. And I like Colorado State having somebody on the ball. They took him off the ball. They had Tonje on the ball.
4 first-half blocks for San Diego State. 3 seconds left in the half. Trammell for 3. And that is how the first half comes to an end. Rams led by as many as 8, but they go in the locker room down by 2. And when Colorado State is down at the half this year, they're just 1-14. AJ's with Brian Dutcher.
That's right, Coach. You didn't get your first lead till late in that first half. 8 turnovers really hurt. What do you have to do to clean things up and get more separation in the second?
Yeah, we had 10 turnovers the first time we played them, 9 the second for the game. So 8 at halftime is a concern. But we'll take better care of the ball the second half, I promise you.
In a back and forth like this, how much will depth play a part in this game?
Depth has always been our most important factor this year. So we've got a deep bench, and we're going to keep using it.
Thank you, Coach.
Thanks.
Good luck.
Brian Dutcher making promises, cutting down on the turnovers in the second half. It's halftime, 27-25 Aztecs. Brent Stover and the crew, AT&T at the half, coming up after these messages.
College basketball on CBS Sports Network is sponsored by Kubota. Together we do more. By AT&T 5G. Fast, reliable, secure. And by Reese's Peanut Butter Cups.
We were treated to quite a halftime performance by this young lady. At the break, San Diego State leads by 2. And hi again, everyone. Courtside with Steve Lapis. I'm Andrew Catalan. We'll hear from A.J. Ross coming up. Colorado State had it going early, but then no surprise, it's that Aztecs defense that took over.
Well, you know, the first 16 minutes of the half, Colorado State didn't have a turnover, and then they had 4 in the last 4 minutes. So eventually this defense started wearing them out a little bit. Plus that depth that they had, playing so many guys, keeps everybody out there fresh. But they started coming at Colorado State from all angles. You could see their defense just pick up in intensity. Now the key is for me, can Colorado State bring it back to the way they were playing offense the first 10 minutes of the game.
First half stats, and neither team shooting the 3 very well. Rebounds, a big key here. Aztecs plus 11 in the first half.
Yeah, 8 offensive rebounds for San Diego State.
And A.J. Ross caught up with Nico Medved. A.J.
That's right, Andrew. Nico Medved told me, especially just what you noted, those offensive rebounds, they have to do better. He said they're getting killed on the boards. That's something they have to improve on. But he did note their defense in the first half being very active, especially with help defense. He noted San Diego State, when they went smaller, they ramped up their pressure. So he hopes that his team will respond better, get into a better offensive rhythm in the second half with different lineup changes, guys.
That's definitely what's going on. But I'd like to know what those two coaches were just talking about at half court. I've never seen that. They're 2 Minnesota graduates. Maybe they were having an alumni meeting. I don't know.
So you're saying that you didn't smile with other coaches too often during a game?
During the game? No.
No, it wasn't you. Johnson in the paint. Yes.
And, you know, we found out about what San Diego State was talking about in the locker room. They were talking, one thing they were talking about, which means something, is 8 turnovers they had in the first half against a team that doesn't force a lot of turnovers. Brian Dutcher not happy about that. Great cut.
Stevens to Lake. So Stevens still yet to score in this game, but he does have 5 assists. He was 0 for 6 in the first half, and meanwhile, San Diego State's Matt Bradley only had 3 points in the first half. And a foul committed at the perimeter by Isaiah Stevens.
Well, take a look at the great execution here. You're going to see John Tonje setting the back screen, and you're going to see that back screen, and that's what allows Rivera to get open in the Lake, to get open at the basket.
Second foul called against Isaiah Stevens. Here's Bradley slicing through the lane, but his shot is no good, and Rivera brings it the other way. Now Stevens for 3.
That was not a good look. Yeah, Keishad Johnson is much bigger all over him.
Colorado State averages close to 8 threes per game. They only have 1 so far today.
They're playing against one of the best three-point defenses in the country.
5 to shoot. Johnson turnaround. Spins around and out. Aztecs are 19-3 when leading at the half this season. Stevens still can't get one to drop.
And that was one of his better looks that time. Mensah did contest late, and now Stevens got Mensah in the low post.
Can they win this game if he doesn't get going?
I don't think they can win this game if he doesn't score.
Butler, wild shot, no good, out of bounds to San Diego State.
Well, let's understand this, Andrew. They were in the game, obviously, at halftime, but Tonje had more than half their points. That cannot keep up in the second half by himself.
Stevens is 0 for 8. Bradley from the free throw line. He's got 5 points.
He does that as good as anybody in the country. He's so strong. He just, not that he sticks that left elbow into your chest. He doesn't push you, but it helps him create that space that he needs to shoot that little step back.
Named to the first team All-Mountain West squad earlier this week as Lake hits on the jumper. Winner of this one moves on to the semifinals tomorrow night against either Nevada or San Jose State. As that long rebound is grabbed by Bradley. Butler, he was across midcourt.
That's a good call.
Seiko comes in and Trammell heads to the bench. These two teams met in the Mountain West semis last year, with the 3rd-seeded Aztecs defeating the 2nd-seeded Rams by 5.
I'll tell you what's been a big factor in this game so far, Andrew, is that when San Diego State switches 1 through 5, that's a tough shot too. When San Diego State switches 1 through 5 and a big guy ends up on Isaiah Stevens, they've done a really good job staying in front of him. Whether it was Mensah, the D, Keishad Johnson, all those guys have switched to Stevens and done a good job.
Bradley commits his first foul, and now it's Cartier at the free throw line. He's 69% on the year. Johnson comes out as Brian Dutcher continues to go deep into his bench. Tied at 31. Again, the winner of this one will see either Nevada or San Jose State. That game is coming up next here on CBS Sports Network. Big one for Nevada, right on the NCAA tournament bubble.
Yeah, 2 losses last week really hurt them.
Bradley no good, hit a rope in the head, out of bounds to Colorado State.
He was out of bounds when it hit his head.
Lamont Butler is all over Isaiah Stevens as Cartier turns it over. Seiko. 50% from 3 on the season, but he's 0 for 3 today. Cartier spinning on Mensah. Now goes the other way. Pretty move for Patrick Cartier.
Yeah, I mean, I'm San Diego State thinking Mensah, who's the defensive player of the year, can handle him one-on-one. No double, but Cartier with a nice move.
Cartier's something to watch. He's got 10 points and 4 rebounds. And a foul is called against Isaiah Rivera. Rams back on top. You're watching Bracket Week presented by Kubota. Colorado State up by 2 as we send it over to A.J. Ross.
Yes, Andrew, everyone is watching Patrick Cartier, and that was some beautiful footwork just before that break there. He's been one of the most efficient post scorers in the country, and he's a former D2 All-American. He came to Colorado State from Hillsdale College in Michigan, where he left the program ranked 7th all-time in scoring. He's putting on a show so far today with 10 points and 4 boards, guys.
Yeah, and a lot of times you don't know if it's going to translate. I mean, this kid has shot 65% on the season. Obviously, you're getting all that experience at Hillsdale where he was has made him a better player. He's much stronger, I'm sure, and he's become a good player.
6-0 run for Colorado State. And Ledee hits. San Diego State had missed its last 6 shots until that jumper from Ledee.
Yeah, he just buried James Moores, who just came in the game for Cartier in the middle of the lane.
Stevens, will this be the one? Yes, his first bucket of the game.
And that time a rope was on him, but as I said, they switched all those screens and he was able to get it done on a rope.
He had missed his first 8 shots. Butler for 3. Good. 11 for Lamont Butler.
He's been their best player this afternoon.
And Butler commits the foul. Well, only one time in the history of this tournament has the number 8 seed defeated the number 1 seed in the quarterfinals, and it was Colorado State. Back in 2004, the Rams beat top-seeded Air Force with the upset win in the quarters.
And you see Colorado State, they love to run their offense through the high post in the middle of the floor.
Tanjay, step back 3. Moore's the offensive rebound. Rivera couldn't get a handle on it. They're coming our way. Out of bounds to San Diego State. Lack, quick first step there by you. You were ready to move.
I was ready. No, I was going to protect you, actually.
I don't buy that.
That's what I was doing.
No way.
Hey, see?
Every man for himself at this table.
I was going to take a hit for you.
Parrish. No good. Ledee, the offensive board. In trouble down low, out of bounds, and he turns it over. And here it is, our reactions coming our way. See, there's no part of that replay that shows that you were trying to protect me. Nothing. We got you. You're guilty.
I mean, the camera doesn't lie, I guess.
Yeah,
Huh?
telling America you're trying to protect me. Look scared out of your mind. Palmer for three. No good. And the rebound to a rope.
I don't like that camera.
Yeah, I know you don't. But you can't lie. Oh, good defense by Morris to rip it away. Stevens nearly gave it back, able to maintain control, and a foul is called.
How low was he dribbling that ball off the ground? I mean, he's got a great handle because they were coming after him, and he just kept that bounce going.
Foul called against Ledee. Tavy Jackson on the floor for Colorado State, the Las Vegas native. Here he is on the wing, driving in. Jackson, no. Parrish.
Wow, I don't know about that one.
And a rope was out of bounds. So far this half, the teams are a combined 8 for 22.
You know, one of the stats we got to keep our eye on is that San Diego State does not have a point off turnovers in this game. That is, they usually average like 14.
Tonje pulls up and knocks it down. He's got 15 for the Rams.
And if I'm Colorado State, I want San Diego State to pressure me in the backcourt because it's the one way you can get some easier baskets and not have to set up against that defense the whole game.
Seiko extra pass, Parrish corner three. And that is Joe Palmer going up to get the board.
With a good box out there.
Parrish a little too aggressive. That takes us to a timeout. Colorado State, the number 8 seed, still on top of number 1 San Diego State here on CBS Sports Network. You are watching Bracket Week presented by Kubota. Back in Vegas, Colorado State up by 1, and what a day so far for John Tonje. He's got 15 points.
Yeah, I mean, this kid can really do a lot off the bounce. We know he's a 40%, almost 40% three-point shooter, but he has taken the ball to the basket in so many different ways in this game. Athletic finish right there. Boy, this kid is really, really doing a great job.
6 of 9 shooting so far today for Tonje, who's going to get a bit of a breather with 11:58 to go in the second half. We'll see how long Nico Medved sits him down.
And he's got the lone three in the gate. There's a backdoor out of the timeout.
And Lake couldn't put it in.
Yeah, that was a great call out of a timeout. Got to make that.
Butler. Good defense by Colorado State. Now a rope inside on the low block. Missed it when it's corralled by Cartier. So Colorado State's top player, Stevens, is 1 of 9. They've only made 1 3-pointer in the entire game, and yet they still lead by 1.
That was a tough hit. You know why? Their defense has been really good, and they've not turned the ball over much in this game.
San Diego State scoreless in the last 3+ minutes. Johnson trying to change that. He cannot.
You know, if San Diego State doesn't turn you over and run in transition, they could struggle in the half court, and that's what's happening right now. Colorado State, much undervalued defensively.
Stevens. Tough day continues.
And that's his shot.
Parrish up ahead. Lost the handle on it.
It was almost a double dribble. Good pass.
Johnson inside. Off the feed from Seiko. Aztecs back up by 1, and the San Diego State fans making some noise here in Vegas. And a steal. Parrish. Fouled hard by Heb. 2 shots coming for Parrish.
Well, you take a look at what happens here. Now, Cartier, we're gonna stop it right here. Stop it. He doesn't realize somebody's behind him. He doesn't have his head on a swivel, and that's why he loses Keishad Johnson there. You got to always be looking for people sneaking behind you.
Johnson now with 8 points and 7 rebounds. And a little extra talking after this one. Parrish didn't like the hard foul that Hebb committed. And after the foul was called, the teams continued to chat it up. Hebb did commit a technical in yesterday's win over Fresno State. There's the foul.
Wow. I mean, I think that's a common foul. Certainly, it was one of those fouls that you do say, I'm not going to let him score. So I think that's a common foul. It was a hard common foul, but it was a common foul. I mean, he makes a play on the ball. That's clear. I don't think that was excessive.
And after, Parrish hit Hebb. But it looks like we're just going to get a common foul and play on it.
It's confirmed it's a common foul.
And then confirmed common foul. Third on Hebb, he'll sit. Parrish at the line.
So we went from an almost flagrant to that was a good foul. That's what you call a good foul. I remember when I was playing in Division III, somebody had a fast break like that, and it was me. He wasn't getting that thing up. That's it.
Hockey line change for Brian Dutcher. Not much of a three-point showing by either team today. They're a combined 4 out of 26.
They still need this kid to have a big 10 minutes if they're going to have a chance.
Stevens to Cartier. Beautiful feed from Isaiah Stevens.
That's the kind of pressure he can put on your defense.
6 assists for Isaiah Stevens. Midway through the second half, and we're tied at 39. Parrish on the attack. He's fouled again. He'll go right back to the line. Joe Palmer commits his first foul, and here comes Tonje back on the floor for Colorado State.
He got a 2-minute rest. He's probably going for the duration now.
Matt Bradley also set the check in. Tonje leading all scorers with 15 points. Parrish, a Detroit native, the transfer from Oakland University in his first year at San Diego State. And he's going to come out for Bradley.
And it's interesting, Brian Dutcher took Trammell and him and Ledee. All three are really good defensive players.
Big surprise, right?
Yeah.
As Brian Dutcher says, we travel defense, and in recruiting, we tell kids, if you don't want to play D, don't come here. Tonje in the corner with 5 on the shot clock. Now Rivera from the free throw line. Tough shot. Doesn't get the bounce. And Johnson saves it to Trammell.
Pretty good defense there by the Aztecs.
Rams led by as many as 8, but right now the Aztecs have the ball up by 2 as we approach 9 minutes to go. Bradley inside, yes.
That's a good timeout that Nico Medved's called.
He does call timeout. Hard to hear in here. with all the Aztecs fans going crazy. San Diego State tied for its largest lead of the day. They're up by 4. Don't forget, coming up next, it's our second Mountain West Tournament quarterfinal of the day as San Jose State, what a season. For the Spartans, they'll take on Nevada in a critical game for the Wolfpack's NCAA tournament chances. And it's coming up next here on CBS Sports Network. But more business to handle in this one, a good one to open up the day, as the Rams, led by as many as 8, now down by 4 against top-seeded San Diego State. With our producer, Jonathan Siegel, director, Andy Goldberg, Steve Lapis, A.J. Ross, our entire crew, I'm Andrew Catalan. Great day of basketball here on CBS Sports Network, just getting started.
San Diego State picking up full now.
Here's Stevens. On the baseline, reverse, yes. Was looking for a foul, but a pretty move by Isaiah Stevens.
With Nathan Mensah switched to him, you wouldn't have expected him to get all the way to the basket. Mensah couldn't do anything with that one.
Bradley, defended by the freshman Jackson. Here's Bradley with 5 to shoot. Bradley on the attack. Too strong, the tip, yes. Mensah getting his big paw on that one.
The rebounding has really been a factor in this game. Colorado State getting out-rebounded by 11.
Offensive rebounds for San Diego State in this game. And a foul committed by Seiko. That's the 5th team foul against San Diego State. Takes us to a timeout. Rams are hanging around in this one, making it tough on the top-seeded Aztecs. Coming up next, Inside College Basketball crew will take over, talk all things conference tournaments, break down all the matchups and projections. Keep it here as bracket week continues on CBS Sports Network. Already been a busy day. Iowa State beating Baylor at the Big 12 tournament. UConn's lead over Providence has ballooned to 16 points. And earlier today at the Garden, St. John's gave Marquette everything they could handle at Mississippi State with a big win over Florida.
Didn't a friend of mine really love Providence this morning and last night? Somebody I know would.
That Big East tournament is a lot of fun.
I forget who that was.
A lot of fun out there at Madison Square Garden.
Oh, I guess he's not taking any credit for that.
Isaiah Stevens with the ball, 7.5 to go. Stevens. Oh, almost. They'll go to the line. Stevens is 2 for 11 today. And starting to become a bit more active here in the second half.
Yeah, you know, he's varying up his game a little bit. He was always pulling up for those pull-up jumpers. Now he's taking it to the basket a couple of times.
Gets the first to go with his parents, Barry and Pat, in attendance, and some other family members as well. A little bit nervous. Stevens is a senior and does have 1 year of eligibility left. He said he'd figure it out after the year, so not necessarily his last game if Colorado State loses.
What a great career he's had here. And he could have easily been the player of the year in the league, but they didn't have, not that Omari Moore didn't deserve it, but they didn't have a very good. Oh, that was a big steal there.
Rivera, the steal. Stevens is with him. Stevens is fouled. Well, to your point, I think what hurt Stevens is he missed the first 7 games of the year with a foot injury.
Yes, and then the team didn't have a great year. I mean, San Jose State had a historic year.
Isaiah Stevens is Colorado State's all-time assist leader. Parrish back on the floor as Trammell heads out.
I'll tell you, this Colorado State defense today has been really, really good. That's the story of the game for them.
Tied at 45. Inside, Mensah lost a handle on it, and Moores takes it away. Rams with a chance to go back in front. Stevens for 3. Colorado State has the lead.
I like him when he's in full attack mode off the dribble. San Diego State was backpedaling. He got himself a pretty good look from 3. Attack.
Just the second 3 of the day for Colorado State, and it's answered by Lamont Butler.
He's been so good today.
That ends a 7-0 run by Colorado State. Butler has 14 points for the Aztecs to lead the way.
That's a foul.
Inside, a whistle. And that'll be a 1-and-1 for Colorado State.
Well, you see here, Isaiah Stevens, they get a little caught on that screen. Mensah comes out a little bit late. That's why it's good for him to attack. And then Butler here, really open. And the way he's played, you got to get to him quicker.
Butler did not score in San Diego State's final regular season game on Saturday against Wyoming. Scoreless in 22 minutes. But San Diego State would be nowhere without him today. 14 as Tonje knocks in the front end of the 1-and-1. Here's a look at the Mountain West Conference Tournament bracket coming up next. Nevada against San Jose State. Wolfpack won both games against the Spartans this year.
And one thing about Colorado State, they are a very good free throw shooting team.
74% on the season. And 6 of their last 9 points have come at the line. Oh, that one almost went. Instead, 2 free throws coming for San Diego State and Matt Bradley.
I mean, he's the one go-to scorer they have. He's a guy that, when you need a basket, he can make something happen. Not that they don't have other good offensive players, but this guy's a go-to scorer.
Well, Brian Dutcher says that Bradley turns up his game when he's needed most, and they need him right now in a tight one with just 5:43 to go. Rivera comes out and Jalen Lake back on the floor.
The one place where San Diego State gets hurt at times is if they're in a half-court game, they don't really have a low-post scorer. They got guys who go to the glass and can score, but they don't have a guy who makes post moves in the low post, and that hurts you in the half-court.
8th tie of the day. Stevens trying to break the tie. Well short. Moore's the offensive rebound. And what's the call? And again, more extracurricular.
They should take it easy because you don't want to get a technical foul in a bad situation.
Are they calling a tie-up?
If it is, it's Colorado State ball.
Oh, wow. They called a foul on San Diego State.
Wow.
They call the foul on Jaden Ledee, and that sends James Moores to the free throw line for a 1-and-1.
There was a whole lot going on that play.
And before that free throw, a violation.
Oh, look at Nico Medved. You can't believe that.
Wow. All right, so we're still tied at 50. Butler. Not this time. Moore's another rebound. James Moore's has 6 rebounds tonight.
Yeah, he's done a really good job.
Stevens cuts, and Ledee with the block. Numbers the other way for the Aztecs. 5 on 3. Butler all the way. No. Gets it back and scores. Aztecs by 2. Inside 5 to play. Stevens. Wow. Out to Lake. Oh, Lake! The triple. End-to-end action here in Vegas.
Yeah, the best offense for Colorado State has been when they've gotten San Diego State in semi-transition before they were set.
Bradley, step back from the left wing. That's pretty.
Man, that is, you can't guard it any better. That was just an unbelievable play by a really good offensive player.
11 for Bradley. Aztecs back up 1. Stevens for 3. And Ledee the rebound. And San Diego State will slowly bring it up.
Butler, I think, is hurt. He's holding his shoulder.
Brian Dutcher wants a timeout, and he gets one with 3:37 to go. What a game here to kick off 4 quarterfinal games today on CBS Sports Network. Top-seeded San Diego State trying to pull one out against the Rams. We are back with our game summary brought to you by AT&T 5G. San Diego State still getting it done on the glass, and they lead by 1. As we welcome you back courtside with Steve Lapis, I'm Andrew Catalan. You always wonder with a team that played yesterday, how much energy would they have today? The Rams have had a lot of energy this afternoon. Do they have enough to get over the hump here late?
That's the question. They played really hard, and they played great defense today against a team that also plays great defense. So right now, and they don't play a lot of guys. So they did. I think that playing yesterday will affect them more if they win today. Tomorrow, I think right now they've got good adrenaline, and they played really well defensively this game.
Let's check in with A.J. Ross.
Well, Andrew and Coach, just before that timeout, we noticed Lamont Butler kind of gripping his right shoulder during that last timeout. He was being massaged in that right shoulder area by a team trainer. There's nothing being disclosed right now as far as an injury, and you see he's back out there on the floor, guys.
And he's got 16 points. Thank you, A.J. Harris tried to get up a 3. Now a rope with 9 to shoot. Seiko can't leave him alone.
Yeah, they lost Adam Seiko that time.
Not what you want to do against a 50% three-point shooter. And now a 2-possession game as we approach 3 minutes to play. Tonje trying to answer. Way short. Arode may have got a piece of that one.
They've got to maintain their composure now, Colorado State. The one thing about San Diego State, they've been in this situation for years, and they've always come through.
Each team with 2 timeouts remaining. Ledee bulldozing his way down low, and he draws the foul.
Let's follow Adam Seiko here. You're going to see him on the baseline. Okay, go run it from there, and I'll tell you what. Stop it. Now, he was started here, and he is sneaking out to this corner, but Isaiah Stevens stops to help, and they lose him completely. 50% three-point shooter, not the guy you can lose.
Ledee rattles that one in. And this is the largest lead of the day for the Aztecs, trying to win their 16th consecutive Mountain West quarterfinal game.
You know,
amazing run.
There's still a lot of time left, but they wear on you. They wear on you, and they wear on you. Let's see how Colorado State responds now.
Here's Lake, open spot, drills another three.
That's a response and a half. He comes off that screen, and they just didn't get out there as aggressively as they would have if it was Isaiah Stevens.
Lake in double figures with 10 points. It's a 2-point San Diego State lead with 2 minutes to go. Butler, too strong. Ledee is everywhere. Out to Parrish. His three's blocked by Rivera.
You got to go now.
Lake has had the hot hand. Over to Stevens. Stevens for the lead. Yes!
That was a quick 6 points.
Rams up by 1. 90 seconds left. A rope in trouble. Finds Ledee. Ledee fouled inside. Jaden Ledee taking over offensively for San Diego State.
And you know, Andy, that was a great play by a rope. You're going to see first here Isaiah Stevens with the step-back three.
Tell me how. How?
He gets it all there. Backboard, rims, you name it, he got it. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5 bounces.
He had the game winner with 2 seconds left yesterday in the first round against Fresno State. But Ledee ties it at 59.
And what a great save that was by a rope there to save it, not only save it, but throw it into Ledee underneath the basket.
Drills them both. He's 2 rebounds away from a double-double, but he comes out, and Nathan Mensah, who's the Mountain West Defensive Player of the Year, is back on the floor.
Yeah, there's no question that's why they got Mensah back in, but offensively, I like Ledee a lot better.
Rivera playing with 4 fouls for the Rams. Lake trying to get open. He's got it here. Now Stevens. 6 on the shot clock for Tonje.
Got to go.
Tonje all the way. Tried to squeeze in a pass, and it goes out of bounds to Colorado State, but only 1 second on the shot clock.
Yeah, I mean, obviously they can catch and shoot, but it's got to be quick.
And Colorado State will call a timeout. 50 seconds left in the game. 1 on the shot clock. Rams down by 1. A look at our game reset. Colorado State has 1 timeout left. The Aztecs have 2. What can you do here with just 1 on the shot clock?
Well, let's see if it ends up being 1, but that's what they're checking now. They're checking on the shot clock there to see if there's more time. If there's 1 second, and one thing about Colorado State, they don't really have a lob guy. They don't. It's not like they have a Nathan Mensah or a Ledee or a rope, guys that can catch lobs because they're athletic and can get up there. They don't really have a guy like that, so it's going to have to be some kind of catch and shoot, which they have time for, but it's got to be right away off a good screen.
8-1 seeds have already lost this March in conference tournaments. San Diego State trying to avoid that fate today. They lead by 1. Let's see what Colorado State does with 1 on the shot clock. Stevens.
Wow.
Cartier! And they're saying you didn't get it off in time.
Pretty good play.
Tough to do much there with just 1 on the shot clock. Got free, but took too much time.
Well, right now, Colorado State has to play solid defense and get this rebound. If you're San Diego State, I would try to get... I tell you, I'm surprised he doesn't have Ledee in the game for Nathan Mensah, because he has been their best offensive big guy here for a long time.
There's Ledee with 10 points and 8 rebounds today. San Diego State has gone the last 2.5 minutes without a field goal. They've been getting it done at the free throw line.
And if they get fouled, they're going to be shooting only a 1-and-1 still. But right now, you got to get Matt Bradley isolated on one side.
San Diego State bench saying, let's slow this up, use a little bit of clock. A 20-second difference between the game clock and the shot clock.
You got to think they're going to try something with Matt Bradley. High pick and roll.
Here's Butler on the drive. Rejected by Rivera. Shot clock turned off. Rams race up ahead. Stevens all the way. No! Mensah the rebound.
Got a foul.
And there's the foul. With 16 seconds left, Stevens had a good look at it.
Wow, what a great opportunity for Isaiah Stevens. First of all, it's a tremendous block by Rivera. And then down this end, I'll tell you, a great job by Adam Seiko to go up, but back off and not get a foul there.
So the Rams foul with 16.6 on the clock. And it will be a 1-and-1 for Matt Bradley, who's 79% at the line this season.
Yeah, obviously you didn't have much choice. This is the guy you don't want to foul.
Big free throw.
I thought it was off.
He thought he missed it too.
And if you're Colorado State, you don't have to shoot a 3 here. There's still plenty of time to score 2, foul, and make San Diego State go to the line again. But if you get a good 3, the right guy, you're going to take it.
Bradley makes them both. 3-point game and a timeout. Let's see what Colorado State draws up. Good finish coming on CBS Sports Network. Here's the scenario. Colorado State down 3 with the ball, so it begs the question, if you're San Diego State, do you foul Steve Lapis?
If it gets under 5, and I would think that Colorado State is not going to hold the ball that long so that it gets under 5. They need to get a good shot in the next 6 seconds to give themselves time in case they only make a 2 to foul again. Now, if they hold the ball that long and it gets under 5, if I'm San Diego State and I'm up 3, I'm fouling. Under 5 seconds, not more.
This was a San Diego State timeout, but now Colorado State has called timeout. No timeouts left for the Rams. We are back in Vegas, and an interesting decision there by Niko Medved, calling the timeout on top of the San Diego State timeout. So now Colorado State without a timeout the rest of the way.
Yeah, I mean, he obviously had something that he saw that he wanted to do. You got to obviously think that Isaiah Stevens is going to have the ball in his hand, try the high pick and roll. And one thing about having a guy like Isaiah Stevens, he can get almost any shot he wants. Now, it may be hard defended, but he can get a shot because he's so quick. He's got the step back. The question is, do they go for the quick 2, or are they going to run something for 3? A lot of times you get the quick 2 because Brian Dutch is telling his team, don't foul. And a lot of times when you say don't foul, you give up an easy shot.
Let's check in with AJ.
Well, Andrew, I can tell you that Coach Medved was giving various scenarios for some plays here down the stretch that include Isaiah Stevens and, no surprise, John Tondre. They've been the stars in this game, and he did warn his team they have no more timeouts going forward. So there is some strategy going forward on the defensive end if they can't make a shot here, guys.
All right, AJ, thank you. It'll be Stevens to inbound. Tonje comes to get it. Back to Stevens. Rams down by 3. Stevens all the way and lays it in.
Hey, I mean, he went for the quick two. They got 11 seconds to go. They have time to foul. You got to deny Matt Bradley. Matt Bradley's not in.
Oh, they get over to Mensah, and they foul Mensah, who's not bad, 70% at the line.
Did I miss something, or is Matt Bradley not in?
Matt Bradley is on the bench.
80% free throw shooter. Wow.
So it'll be a 1-and-1 for Nathan Mensah.
You know, I don't care what he's shooting. I'd rather put a big man in this situation than the line than a smaller guy. I don't know. That's just me.
He only has 2 points today, 70% at the line this season, and it's a 1-and-1.
And I like what Nico Medved there. They only killed 6 seconds and got a layup.
Mensah makes it.
Now there's a good chance that Colorado State's going to have, if they're down 3, if he makes this one, Colorado State is going to have the ball with less than 5 seconds. Probably, let's see if San Diego State fouls.
Missed it. 2-point game. 8 seconds left. Stevens. Off balance shot. No. Rebound Cartier. And it's taken away. And now we have a whistle. And they're going to take a look to see if the foul came before zeros on the clock.
I think the foul's on Cartier. I don't think the foul's on San Diego State. I think the foul is on Cartier.
Here's the shot by Stevens.
In and out.
There's Cartier. Good
That's
defense by Mensah. There's the foul, but it's obviously important to see if the game is over or not.
Yes. Great job by Mensah being in the game. He gets his hands straight up there. That's not a foul on him.
Foul
That's
there.
Foul.
0.2 maybe. So Stevens had a good look at it. Tough shot. Couldn't get it to fall. And Colorado State now in big trouble, down by 2. And let's see how much time they put on the clock.
Yeah, Andrew, he had a great look. Hey, you know, when you have a guy like him, you put it in his hands. A lot of guys can't even get a shot like that in that situation. He got himself a pretty good look. He was halfway in.
Well, they put 0.7 on the clock. Foul is actually called on Rivera. That's his 5th, so he's fouled out of the game. And now they're putting it on Cartier, so Rivera's still in the game. And it'll be Mensah right back at the line.
I mean, big difference between being 0.7 and 0.2, because now you can catch and shoot it. 0.2, you got to tip it.
Mensah misses. How do you make this one?
Yeah, you make it because then you can't lose. And I understand at 0.7, it's going to be very hard for a guy to get a rebound from the basket. Either way, you're going to win the game.
Makes it down 3.
Now this gives Colorado State a chance.
Do the Rams have a March miracle in them? Stevens at the horn. Oh, it hit the rim. What a shot there by Stevens. And the Aztecs can breathe a sigh of relief as they hold on against number 8 Colorado State.
Boy, they really had to work for that one, no doubt about it. You got to give Nico Medved credit for his game plan. But San Diego State, in the end, that's what champions do. And that's what their culture is right now.
Just how close it was off the rim. And you can see the Aztecs barely surviving and winning their 16th consecutive Mountain West Conference quarterfinal game. Heartbreak for the Rams, who played so hard today. As we update the bracket, and the Aztecs are moving on to the semifinals once again. Ryan Dutcher coming over to talk to A.J. Ross. Aztecs win 64-61. They'll take on either Nevada or San Jose State. That game's coming up next here on CBS Sports Network. And AJ's with Brian Dutcher.
Yeah, Coach Dutcher, what an impressive way to start this Mountain West quarterfinals round here. 9 ties, 11 lead changes. Talk about the coolness of your team and their toughness under pressure.
It's March basketball. Every game's going to be like this. Desperate teams trying to win, play themselves into the tournament. I can't say enough about Nico Medved, the job he did, Stevens, Tanjay. They got a great team, and we're fortunate to win today.
You had 3 guys in double digits, but the ball was spread around quite nicely, as well as, just balancing your offense. What did you think about that?
Yeah, we have great depth, and so any given night, a different player can lead us in scoring, 1 through 9, and so that makes us dangerous.
On deck, the semis. How much momentum does a game like this give you going forward?
Well, we're just so thankful to win this. We're going to enjoy it and see which team can prevail in the next one.
Congrats on the win, Coach.
Thank you.
All right, wasn't easy, but the Aztecs win it 64-61. We'll be back here very soon. Quarterfinal number 2, San Jose State against Nevada. But first, back to Brent Stover. It's Inside College Basketball.